Help! I can't see or hear my student. What do I do? I have seen that posted on Facebook and other groups for ClassIn many more times this month than I have ever seen before. And 99% of the time, it's the same one problem every single time. It's the classroom settings. So let's talk about those classroom settings. What are they? Where do I find them? Whenever you add a lesson to a class for a student, these are your classroom settings. It's what you want the classroom to look like and the start date time, all that important information. So of course, you can change the lesson name, you change the date and time, and the lesson duration. But normally, the system defaults to online classroom, and that is the one that we want, that we're working on 1v1 or small groups with our students on our computers and their iPads. But for some reason, in the last couple months, teachers have experienced, and I even experienced it myself, that some reason the system is defaulting to smart classroom. And of course, if you're like me, have been doing this for many, many months, you don't even really look at that anymore because you know, well, it automatically goes to online classroom. I don't need to even look at it. And because they're not looking at it and it's defaulting to smart classroom, they're having trouble in their class. So we're going to look right now of what it will look like if you accidentally, or if the system changes your class to a smart classroom. That is 99% of the time the problem that teachers are having when they say they cannot see or hear their student. I have also seen in the past the seat number changing. Usually it defaults to whatever your previous setting was, but I've seen people have it change, not by them changing it, by the system changing it to 1v0. And again, they think it's automatically set correctly, so they don't even look at it, but it changed to 1v0. So first, let's take a look at the smart classroom and what happens when it changes to smart classroom. So I'm going to create this class, and since I set it for right now, I'm going to automatically enter. So notice right away, this classroom looks different than a regular online class. I don't have my buttons at the top right. Instead, they are at the bottom left. Also, the toolbar is this cool little circle that I can move around, which I actually really like because I would love to be able to move my toolbar because I hate it being stuck to the right side. And my camera right now is off, but I can turn it on. And notice it's not really stuck at the top. It's just wherever I move it. This is actually called the large classroom mode. And you can actually change to large classroom mode in an online classroom. But with the smart classroom, it automatically is in the large class mode with the toolbar and the buttons at the bottom. So here I am thinking, oh, I'm getting ready for class. That's weird. My toolbar's changed, but maybe there's an update. And then you're waiting for your student. So now I am going to enter as a student on my iPad. Here's my student. I'm waiting. Oh, look, it says Kendall student entered classroom. Where's my student? They are nowhere to be seen. They are not being shown in my classroom because I am in the smart classroom mode. So when you enter your class, you see your student has entered, but you can't see them and you can't hear them. It's most likely you are in the smart classroom and not the online classroom. But notice, here's my student. I'll make myself a little bit bigger here. My student can see and hear me. I just cannot see or hear them. So this would be like if you're presenting for like a large class, like in a school, and your students are at home. You might present on a big screen, you're presenting to the class, you're not interacting with them, you're just presenting information. That's the smart classroom. That is not what you want for your teaching for your ESL students. So now I'm going to exit out. I'm going to quit and exit, and my student will exit. So if you've ever experienced that before, or if you ever do in the future, now you know to go back and check to see if it's set to the correct classroom. You might think, well, how do I do that if I already taught a class? So during the current class, I can click on it. This is the class that's happening right now, and I can click Edit. I can't change anything because the class is happening right now, but I can check to see what class mode is set. And I can see, oh, I'm in Smart Classroom. That's why I can't see or hear my student. And then you would have to create a new class. So for a class that already happened, same thing. I can click on it and I can see right here, I can't edit because this already happened, but I can see my class mode was online classroom. So I can see that class was correct. So now let's see what happens if you choose 1v0. I haven't done this in a long time, so I'm not sure if I remember what happens. So I'm going to go back and change to 15 minutes. This time I'm going to choose the correct classroom, online classroom, and I'm going to choose 1v0. Of course, this is not what you want because we do not have 0 students in our class. If you are using the free version, you want to make sure you're on 1v3 because that's the only other option you have. If you have the paid version, you have other options of seat numbers. So let's choose our 1v0, which means it even tells you here 1 teacher and no students on stage. And I'm going to create. I'm going to enter my class. And here I can see, this is what you should see when you enter your online class. Enter the classroom. And I am in my correct class now. So now my student, they can still see that class because it's under their classroom. So they see and they're going to enter. And let's see what happens. Enter the class. Oh, Kendall student, enter classroom. I cannot see or hear my student. Where are they? I know they're here. So again, the student can see and hear me, but I cannot see or hear them because I chose 0 students in my classroom. This one I believe I can fix during class. Let's see if I can figure it out. Stage. Nope, I cannot. I thought there was a way to add them to the stage, but it is not allowing me. So again, same thing happened as my smart classroom. I am in the class. The student is in the class, but I cannot hear or see them. They can hear and see me. So again, I'm going to exit or end class. Okay. And my student is gone. And now again, I can go back and see what happened. I can check to see if my settings were set correctly, and then I can create a new class with the correct settings to make sure my student can enter the class. So let's do a quick recap. So even though you always choose the same settings and you say, oh, they're always the same, I don't have to check it, always double check every time you add a lesson because you might get that glitch where the system defaults it to Smart Classroom or defaults it to a 1v0 seat number. So always double check that you have online classroom selected and always double check that you have either 1v1, 1v2, or if you're in the free version, 1v3 selected as your seat number because if one of those 2 things is incorrect, it will cause a problem in your classroom. So hopefully seeing this will help prevent this from happening to any other teachers, or it will help teachers realize, wait, that's what happened to me last month of why I couldn't see my student. I want to prevent this from happening to anyone else, and you can troubleshoot this yourself if it does happen to you in the future. I hope this helps. Bye, everyone.